With a star talking about how an arrest ended his WWE run and more, this is Wrestling Rambles, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. While re-watching his WrestleMania 28 showdown during an interview with Vanity Fair, Cena opened up about how real their tension was, and how he knowingly fueled it to build hype for the match. The WWE icon didn't mince words when owning up to the drama he created behind the scenes. Dwayne had always been cordial to me, and always helped me out, and I did something foolish and started to go into business for myself and drum up rumors about things I knew nothing about, which were great for this, but it's very much a professional faux pas. And then he finally shows up and he goes one way, I go another, we never talk. And what you see play out on screen is very genuine. In a heartfelt piece for the Players Tribune, Charlotte Flair opened up about her return on the Raw after WrestleMania 37. She revealed that she had been sidelined for 6 weeks due to a COVID-19 diagnosis. During that time away, Flair shifted her focus to recovery and self-care, ultimately emerging in the best physical shape of her career. I have this memory. It's about 4 years ago. I just worked my first show in a while. The Raw after WrestleMania 37, after being out 6 weeks from COVID. It's extremely hard to live healthy on the road, so while I was off, I did something I'd wanted to do for a long time. I got in the best shape of my life. I lost like 25 pounds. I got leaner and more toned. I felt so great. I've always been pretty self-conscious about my appearance, but I seriously was so proud of the effort I'd put in and the results I'd achieved. And I remember feeling really good about how I'd looked at that night's show. Then I checked my phone after. I literally had thousands of notifications on Twitter. Most of it, people speculating about what kind of plastic surgery I'd gotten. Okay, what the f***'s happened to Charlotte Flair? Holy s***, her whole body is fake. You know she got work done. She looks like her dad in a wig. I've dealt with stuff like that my whole career, but I try not to take it personally. On some level, I get it. I'm relatively famous, and I make a very good living from work that involves showing off my body. I get that certain things just come with that territory. And I'd never expect anyone to put feeling sorry for Charlotte Flair high on their priority list. But it really is wild how, okay, I'll put it like this. People are getting smarter and smarter when it comes to understanding the wrestling business. Everyone knows everything now, not just about what's on screen, but what's off screen as well. And yet the smarter that people get about wrestling, the easier they seem to forget the basic concepts, like the concept that I'm not Charlotte Flair. While appearing on Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray asked Nikki Bella whether she's crossed paths with John Cena backstage and if those encounters have been awkward. Nikki responded that, surprisingly, everything has actually been great between them. It's been so great. As you know, it's a family back there, and every time you go back, it's the same. Even seeing people from the past, it's been really, really nice. I know we're talking about John. I have so much respect for him and his wife and their relationship, and she is super sweet and amazing, and she's at all the shows. It's been honestly very comfortable, very nice, and that's great. That's what you want from it. You don't want things to be awkward and weird, and it's not, so that's really nice. WWE power couple Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch were targeted in a home burglary that took place in the early hours of the morning. According to TMZ, the break-in occurred around 3 a.m. at their residence in Playa del Rey. Thankfully, neither Rollins nor Lynch were home when the burglary happened. Details are still emerging, and the investigation remains ongoing. At this time, there is no word on whether any suspects have been identified or taken into custody. It's been reported that money was stolen during the incident. Rollins reportedly contacted authorities upon discovering the crime. The former hardcore champion recently joined Chris Van Vliet for an interview where he opened up about his departure from WWE. He revealed that a sudden arrest at the Canadian border derailed his tag team momentum and ultimately led to a serious neck surgery that changed the course of his life and career. At the end of the last 13 months I had left, Brian Christopher and I were tag teaming. It was getting over well. Trish would be a valet with us. The whole thing was, The whole gimmick was getting over. We had good matches, we had good chemistry. We planned on having the tag team run for the next 13 months, with belts and stuff. We go to Canada to do an appearance. They were sending us on more appearances because we were getting over well. He gets caught at the border with stuff in his bag, gets fired immediately, and our gimmick's over. And I'm like, JR, now what? He goes, we planned on you being with him for the rest of this. I said, I figured that. Well, are you opposed to me going and getting my neck operated on? I live in here with migraines every day. He goes, we know you do. We can see that. I said, well, how about if I get my neck fixed? And he's like, go get it fixed. If you get doctor clearance after that, you can come back anytime you want. Once I had it worked on, my atrophy started after the operation. My right arm wouldn't work. I was a wild man. I literally couldn't bench anything. I couldn't push anything. I couldn't do a push-up. My arm wouldn't even work. In a matter of a month after that, my right arm's like 2 or 3 inches smaller than my left. And I'm losing my mind. So I buy a Smith machine, stick it in my brother's basement. I go over, push it up, let it down with my right hand, push it up, try to let it down. I try to focus on here. Well, it just wouldn't work. I'd throw my tantrums, firing weights, kicking weights. I'm just losing my mind. About 11 and a half months goes by and I'm like, my God, it's working. And it actually started to work. After doing that like 5 times a week for 11 months, then it started coming back. And then it came back quick after that. During an appearance on the Raw recap show, LA Knight was asked whether he feels underestimated or overlooked by others in the locker room. He replied that he doesn't believe he's underestimated, as most people recognize the threat he brings to the table. You want to talk about overlooked or underestimated or anything? I don't know if I'm underestimated. I'm seen as the threat that I am. Whether that means somehow I get politicked or anything else out of my spot, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's a bit of fear. I think I struck fear into people around here. But I don't know. It's not so much overlooked. We'll just say, maybe not brought to my fullest potential, if you will. But that's coming. During a media call today promoting AEW All In Texas, AEW President Tony Khan addressed several key topics, including Mercedes Moné and other stars having full creative control in AEW, the AEW Unified Championship's connection to the legacy of the international and continental titles, and more. That's definitely not true at all. I would love to talk about that. Mercedes is an incredible talent. I have wanted Mercedes in AEW, and she is a big star on the show. I really enjoy working with her backstage as a talent, and she has done great things for the company doing media. She's a great person. Mercedes is a great addition to AEW. I also think it's ridiculous, the idea that people would think because she's a strong wrestler on the show that she must be the one dictating that. That is the complete opposite of what happens here. We've done a really great job, this year in particular, with a really focused build, and we're on the best run of television we've ever had through the past 6 months. In 2025, it's been a great year for the company. I'm the only person with creative control over the show. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for what you see. I'm really proud this year because this has been one of the best years, 6 months into the year so far, we've ever done of television. Philosophically, since the start of the year, in particular this year, I'll go back, I've had the final say since day one of AEW. I've had the final creative control since the beginning of the company. I've seen people infer she must have some kind of creative card because she's such a feature on the show. But that's ridiculous to me because when you have somebody of that stature, you would want to feature them and push them strongly. That's why, frankly, in the case of Mercedes, she is not only one of the biggest stars in AEW, but backstage she is a great person to work with. I found her to be very receptive, and even if she comes in with an idea that points in one direction, I might have an idea that takes it 180 degrees in the total opposite direction. If I really feel strongly about it, I found that she is somebody that is going to do what I believe and is very trusting of AEW. She is somebody that likes working at AEW and likes being here. One of the great things we've done in 2025 was try to focus AEW this entire year around the people that want to be here and care about AEW and the people that work really hard for us every week. I think Mercedes is a great example of that. Somebody is really hardworking and a very talented pro wrestler. During the AEW All In Texas media call, Tony Khan declined to comment directly on the lawsuit, but emphasized that AEW prioritizes the safety and well-being of everyone in the company. I definitely can't comment on pending litigation. In this case, we really do care about the safety of everybody here, whether it's the talent, fans, or people working backstage, in the truck, around the ring, the production team, and we all work together. That is first and foremost. It's a family of wrestlers, staff, and fans all working together to make these shows great 52 weeks a year. We all need each other. Beyond that, I can't comment much on pending litigation. And that was the news for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.